Hello, and welcome to Studio 415, live to the world on YouTube.
On today's show, you'll see how students are finding creative uses for their laptops for things other than schoolwork.
We'll take you to the Diamond to see how the Ladies Charger softball team is doing.
And you'll hear the reasons why two students started a new club at CHS which focuses on unity and what humans have in common.
Sunny days and friendly smiles, walk the halls with me. Studio 415. Watch the news unfold. Never a dull moment. Students today create our future. Come and join the fun. Studio 415.
Welcome to Studio 415. I'm Tess Plazik, and we are live from Carroll High School.
And I'm Seth Pendergrass. Carroll has been one-to-one for almost a year now, and teachers have given plenty of praise to the program.
Though with every bit of freedom that's given, some exploitation is bound to occur. Studio 415 reporter Wes Nyman joins us live in the studio with more.
One-to-one has brought some awesome changes to Carroll, bringing several positives with it, including Canvas, Pearson Realize, and Black Market flash drives. Convenience was one of the top positives that came with the start of the one-to-one program. Some argue, however, that to the students, the laptops are almost too convenient, giving students easy access to games, movies, videos, and everything in between, providing one more way to procrastinate assignments.
I think the biggest negative impact in my class is that when I give assignments, students are playing games. And so I've had them put them on the floor when I'm teaching, and so that's kind of how I've taken care of that issue.
Carroll has now become a black market of sorts, with the exchange of flash drives with games and movies stored in them becoming a frequent scene around the classroom. This is giving students a way to play games they normally couldn't, causing some teachers to see laptops as just another way for students to not pay attention.
Well, now this is another added distraction for a student in that situation, so that, you know, if they're bored, they might look like they're engaged in the class, but they're actually watching a cat video on YouTube or something like that, or playing Tetris on their computers.
Other teachers, however, say that laptops don't add that much of a distraction, stating that the pros of one-to-one outweigh the cons.
I think positive. I think it's positive. I think it's a very good thing. I think the use of the Google Docs, Google Drive, utilizing that, utilizing Canvas, putting things on Canvas for assignments, and now again using the whole Google Documents, that's been very, very good.
Some students, however, feel that laptops provide little to no distraction at all.
Well, I don't think it's too big a deal. I think most students play games or watch YouTube, and it doesn't really seem to be a distraction to other students, so.
With some other teachers feeling the same way.
Yeah, I know when I was in high school, we didn't have our own laptops, but I was someone who just would sketch in my notes, and it wasn't that I wasn't listening, it was just that was my way of focusing. So I think maybe some kind of just, especially with games, there's not a lot of thought that goes into all of those games, so maybe it's also something that's just kind of mindless, doing something.
One-to-one has received a lot of praise so far, and with students and teachers becoming better adapted, it's only going to get better and better. With Studio 415, I'm Wes Nyman.
One of the first things you drive past when entering the student parking lot is the softball field.
However, do you put much thought into what goes on under the lights and on the diamond?
Studio 415 reporter Will Wiggy is here to fill us in on how the Ladies Charger season is going.
With only 2 seniors on the team and a second-year coach at the helm, the Carroll softball team has dedicated to each other and hard work to achieve their goals. After losing a few key seniors and undergoing many changes, the softball team has been making some adjustments for their 2017 season. The team consists of a varsity and junior varsity. Due to the team being considered smaller, they have done more physical and mental training this year. They have set goals not only as a team, but for themselves. Senior Kaylee Schlatter hopes these goals will help the team throughout the game.
Our biggest challenge is just like staying with it the whole game. Like we'll have our ups, like our up innings, and then we'll have our down innings. We just all need to stay up for the whole game. And
The team is led by their coach, Cassie Antos, a former softball player for IPFW who was originally from California. She moved to Fort Wayne, Indiana to pursue her academic and athletic career. Starting her second year of coaching, Antos is already providing her players with extra help. Sophomore Riley Summers admits she has received after-practice assistance from her coach.
All the coaches are always willing to stay after with me, hit with me, do anything, go through drills. I ask questions. They're always there for anything that we need.
The team is currently in the middle of their season. This Friday, they will be facing off against their biggest rival, DeKalb. The girls have become like a family. They are with each other through both thick and thin, while also sharing wonderful memories they will never forget. Antos believes that these girls are more than just a team.
I also work full-time at IPFW, and so kind of working full-time and being a head coach, it's a lot of responsibility, but I wouldn't give it up for anything. There's times where I go weekends and don't see my husband, but it's all worth it being around these girls and seeing them improve every day, and they're my family during these 3 months we're in season. So,
if you have not yet, you'll have a few more chances to attend a game this year. For Studio 415, I'm Will Wiggy.
The fashion and textile career students will be hosting their annual spring fashion show this Friday in the CHS Commons.
This year, fashion students had the challenge to create garments inspired by a famous painter.
The show begins at 7 p.m., including hors d'oeuvres and a student exhibit. The event is $5 and open to the public.
Also, this Saturday will be the first annual NACS Relay for Life.
The event is a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. The relay will be held at Carroll Middle School from 3 p.m. until 10 p.m.
Take a look outside of Carroll High School and you'll see a sea of cars, fields, and most importantly, trees.
AP Environmental teacher Jim Walker would like there to be more trees. In my report, you'll see how Walker and a group of students are making new trees pop up every year. The Carroll High School Environmental Club contributes time and effort to benefit the school and the community. On April 20th, for the 6th year in a row, the students in the club volunteered to plant a tree outside the school.
Trees are good for the environment, obviously, and it provides like natural capital for like the area, and it's just something to help the school grounds.
Natural capital is the amount of natural resources and services that a certain environment has. Carroll benefits directly from this by improving the beauty of the campus. Environmental science teacher Jim Walker believes that this doesn't only benefit the environment, but also the students directly involved.
I view the whole club and actually my job as an AP Environmental Science teacher to try to help students build a sense of community. So, you know, the club and the class and discussions that we have, we try to build a better NACS community. And, you know, that might be planting trees, it might just be having conversations with people, you know, building birdhouses.
Since this is an annual event for the club, each year brings a different species of tree. In the past, they planted 2 Winter King hawthorns, 1 prairie fire crabapple, 1 snowdrift crabapple, 1 eastern redbud, and this year, a red oak.
It costs a total of $150 for the tree because it's a pretty good sized tree. I mean, we could go to Lowe's or Home Depot, but then that wouldn't be supporting the local economy here in the NACS community.
The planting of trees, building of birdhouses, and the education of a human's environmental impact have long-lasting benefits for the students involved. Senior club member Julia Martin had a positive experience with her first tree planting.
It's good that we're doing something good for the environment, like all the pollution that we have now. It's just something that can benefit the environment and our community.
This tree planting will happen annually, rain or shine, and you can get involved by simply donating $1. For Studio 415, I'm Tess Plazik. For many students, clubs are a place to have fun and experience new hobbies. For others, however, it may be about making an impact on the community.
A new club at CHS is doing just that by focusing on what unites humans, not what divides us. Studio 415 reporter Leah Wells has more on this new club.
The Humanity Club, headed by chemistry teacher Pam Bell and led by students Leanne Eunice and Helen Bargo, is a new club to Carroll. Their main objective is to bring people of every background together in hopes that students can break barriers.
We're not emphasizing the differences, it's the similarities that we're focusing on, whether it's, like I say, religion, family, community. The goals that everyone has for one another are pretty much the same, universal.
The idea for the club was started late last year in a conversation between Bell and Eunice about issues in the world. Many political tensions of the past presidential campaign had a large influence on the club and its founders. To combat these social and cultural problems, they had the club approved, as a way to begin small in our own community of Carroll.
We do research like the origins of racism and sexism, and the purpose of religion in making laws and establishing morals for a society.
Along with this research, the club often has guest speakers, such as professors of philosophy, to gain a further understanding of what the community club was founded on. Although Belle believes that the speakers have value, she feels that real-life experiences have the most.
To work together on a project, because when you work with someone side by side, those barriers, those things that make us different from one another, they tend to melt away. And you no longer notice so-and-so's, the color of their skin, the clothes that they wear, whatever. You just see the person.
Meetings will be held next year and the years following, where we will continue to break these barriers. For Studio 415, I'm Leah Wells.
From the bright lights of the open stage to an elementary cafeteria, Carroll's theater students will perform anywhere.
Studio 415 reporter David Israbian followed the cast of the fairy tale play to Hickory Center Elementary to see how the students are bringing smiles to a younger audience.
On March 29th, Carroll's theater arts students put on a fairy tale play at Hickory Center, but these fairy tales may not be like you remember them. Theater arts teacher Steve Pearson takes classic fairy tales and puts a modern twist on them.
Typically in every play I put the princesses in the wrong stories. And I put Justin Bieber in it, or I modernize it a little bit with contemporary jokes.
But who is this play for? Hickory Center's first graders. Understanding that the children's theater is very different from normal theater, Pearson knows that in order to keep the kids entertained, they must feel like they are a part of the story throughout the whole performance. Over the past 8 years that Pearson has been asked to do the play, some schools have lost interest in holding the event, due to a lack of interest amongst the parents or a struggle of having the time to put it on. But this hasn't stopped Hickory Center from asking them to come back, and some other schools from considering it again. For the first graders, it is a night just for them and their parents. As the students enter into the cafeteria, they have a chance to meet the cast of the play and take pictures with their favorite characters. Then the show is on. After the performance, the kids have one last chance to talk with their favorite characters. For the Carroll students involved, it isn't just about putting on a small play. The cast enjoy being around one another, and it's a chance to wrap up their year.
Like I said, I was in the Diviners cast, and I'm doing this just because I love the environment that we're all in. I love the people. It's just so much fun. We just have a lot of fun together.
But for others, they truly believe what Pearson is doing for the kids, and that is something that can't go without noticing.
I think it's a really neat thing what Mr. Pearson is doing for these elementary students. The fact that he's willing to take time out of his day, write a script, and have us perform it in front of them is really, really nice. I think it's a really good thing that he's done.
Now that the lights are off and the fairy tale has ended, many of the drama students are excited to come back next year and work to bring even more fairy tales to life. For Studio 415, I'm David Israbian.
Finally today, 7 Oakview Elementary students recently held a book drive to collect books for a local charity.
Members of Girl Scout Troop 206 were inspired by Carroll senior Katie Dorsey and her mission with Hope Books.
So, Mallory Liamcooler, Christina Baranda, Izzy Tappy, Kylie Felger, Ashley Zent, Emerson Hunter, and Taylor Swinehart challenged Oakview students to donate books to the cause.
Last Friday, the girls presented Katie Dorsey and Hope Books with over 5,500 books that they collected. These books will be handed out to children who wait in the line at the Community Harvest Food Bank.
And that's all we have today.
This is our last news show of the year, so thank you, Carol, for watching.
And for all of us here at Studio 415, have a great end to the year, Carol.